this is Rick Caselge from exercisesforinjuries.com and Fix My Back Pain. I wanted to go through a safe crunch exercise that is good on the back. So I will get Orsi to kind of demonstrate the typical crunch or sit-up that you end up seeing. And with this one, good. With this one, with going through this one, it ends up putting a lot of load on the spine, and a lot of times what people say is it makes their back sore, it irritates their back, and sometimes it'll end up leading to a back injury. So there's a safe way to kind of tweak this crunch or sit up to kind of make it safe, so it works the abdominal area but puts low load on the spine. And what this one ends up being called is like a curl up. So we'll get Orsi to lie back. And what Orsi's doing is one leg is straight and I am bending the other one. And what that ends up doing is it ends up locking the pelvis so it doesn't rock back and forth. Because we want to keep the pelvis where it's at and keep that curve in the spine in order to not put that much stress on that low back area. If that pelvis tilts back, if that back flattens out, we lose the arch and we put that back at greater risk and greater strain. So then what Orsi's going to do is she'll put one of her hands underneath her low back, and that's kind of her gauge when it comes to maintaining that curve in the spine. So there shouldn't be a drastic increase in the pressure on her hand. And she's wanting to kind of maintain that curve and maintain the constant pressure of her body on her hand. Now the other hand is kind of put in behind her head, so she ends up cupping her head in order to keep her head in line with the rest of her body. Now what Orsi's going to do now is curl up. So she's just going to start off with lifting her head off the mat and coming back up. And what she's working on is all in that rectus abdominis area, the six-pack that people end up wanting to do. And then she can make it more difficult by lifting up a little bit higher so the shoulder blades come off a touch. And then the third level is coming up and holding for a second or two and then coming back down. So there you go. Give that exercise a go. If you end up doing sit-ups and they irritate your back, try that curl-up modification, remembering one leg straight, one leg bent, that pelvis is locked, one hand underneath your low back in order to maintain that curve, other hand in behind your neck in order to keep your head in line with the rest of your spine, and then you're focusing on that movement happening in the mid-back area, lifting up as opposed to in your lower back. And pick the level that works best for you, just lifting your head off, lifting your shoulder blades off, or going to a hold. So this is Rick Caselge from exercisesforinjuries.com or Fix My Back Pain saying take care and bye-bye.